Let's talk about zones of regulation. What is a zone of regulation and how we can help support our children, whether it's at home or in school, to better understand these zones and also how to help themselves self regulate. So, first of all, a brief explanation. What are the zones of regulation? Well, the zone of regulation is actually a widely used framework that has been designed just to better support children and adults. Actually, I find it really useful for myself. It helps us to understand and manage emotions, energy levels, and self regulation. It is particularly helpful with our neurodivergent children. I'm autistic and an ADHDer. I have two ADHD sons as well, and we use these zones of regulation at home. And we encourage all schools to use this framework because it's just so helpful and it's such a visual and simple way of getting children to understand really massive emotions and feelings. So these are the resources that we have on our website that you can actually just download for free and print off. And we suggest that you have these in all of your classrooms, in all of your learning spaces, whether you decide to condense them onto one page or to have them in big A4 kind of individuals. That's my favorite way of doing it. Is up to you, but they are very, very useful. So we're just going to go through a few of the things. So the blue zone is a zone that your child, your pupil may be in if they feel sad, if they feel tired, if they feel bored, or if they feel unwell, poorly, sick. You'll notice that on the descriptive side of this page, where it says sad, there is a sad face, and where it says tired, there is a tired face. But you will notice on the big child on the other side, we have deliberately left all facial expressions off. And that's because for much of the autistic community, our faces don't react in a way that sort of most people would expect them to. For example, when Archie's poorly, his face looks exactly the same. He doesn't show a face of misery or of sadness or of being unwell. So we wanted to make it clear that actually a facial expression is something that can help us determine how we feel, but it is certainly not the thing that we should be looking at to express those feelings. So that's why throughout this slideshow, you will see that we have blank faces throughout. And it's also important to say that above the children, we have put that all feelings are valid. The green zone. This is when you are going to be content, you're going to be regulated, you're going to be ready to go for the task at hand, whether that be time for silent reading or whether that be time to climb a tree for adventure. You're going to be emotionally ready, you're in the green zone and ready for the activity ahead. So this could mean that you feel happy, you feel okay, you feel focused, and you feel calm. The yellow zone. This may be where yourself or your child or your pupil may need to slow down a little bit because they might be feeling slightly worried or a bit silly. Perhaps they're feeling a bit confused or surprised. Again, all of these feelings are valid, but it's important to be able to recognize what you're feeling so you can put the right things in place to get you back to that green zone. And the red zone. It's a zone that none of us want to be in, but all of us will get there. Some of us get there quick, some of us take a little while, but once you're there, it's the worst zone. It just feels so miserable. So you are going to need to try and stop. You're going to need to try and breathe because you're going to feel angry. You may feel scared or just a little bit cross, but heading towards angry, or annoyed, or like I have done many times, feel all of those things at once. And the red zone is a hugely overwhelming place to be. So, how can we regulate ourselves, or how can we encourage our children, our pupils, to regulate when they are in these zones? Well, actually, it's a lot simpler than you may think. So, we've got some examples again. You can download these and print these out and have them in your classrooms. How can you help your child? You could tell them that they could ask a friend for a hug. The child could talk to an adult, whether that be a TA or a parent. They could talk about their feelings. They could have a rest, or they could maybe take a moment to go outside. In the green zone, when we're regulated and we're ready to go, there's really not much that we need to do other than enjoy being in the green zone. It means you're ready to learn, you feel focused. Listening to the teacher or to your parent feels a whole lot easier. And that child is more able to cope, and they're able to maybe help someone else who's maybe not in the green zone, which is an amazing thing to do. In the yellow zone, a child could take a break. They could go for a walk, they could do a little bit of mild exercise, or again, they could talk to an adult about their feelings. And the red zone, and this is the one where we all need the most support. We need to try and learn how to take deep breaths. And if you are a TA supporting, you need to remain calm. We need to make sure that we are absorbing as much of those feelings for that child as possible. So if you are dysregulated yourself, you are not the person to help the child in that moment. So when you are ready, you need to be calm and go to that child and encourage them to take deep breaths or do square breathing or finger breathing or bubble breathing or bumblebee noises, whatever it is you guys do, that's your time to do it. You can encourage your child to have some quiet time or some time alone. You can encourage them to count to 10 or yourself count to 10. And you could squeeze a cushion or something soft. If you'd like to find out a lot more about how to support the autistic people within your life, whether it's at school or at home, then please do give us a little message. We are on www.awesomearchie.co.uk. The easiest thing to do is to follow us here on YouTube, but we are, of course, on TikTok. Essentially, we're on all the socials, to be fair. And we're here to help you. There is no catch. We're just a neurodivergent family who want to share what we know so that other neurodivergent families and neurodivergent children have a great time. Thanks for watching.